What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So Bloodborne was an awesome game that of course came out in March this year for the PlayStation 4. I really enjoyed it, where I thought it was honestly going to be a bit too hardcore for me. And you know, I definitely struggled for sure, but at the same time I really liked playing through it, and I was pleasantly surprised by it in terms of how much I personally would enjoy it. So yeah, that was great. And tomorrow the new expansion is coming out for Bloodborne, which is called The Old Hunters. Now Sony was nice enough to actually give me a review code, meaning I've been able to play through it all this weekend, and yeah, that means I can now do my review. But I will say this video is not going to be super long because it is quite simple. Bloodborne The Old Hunters is simply more of the same, and that means it's more of the same great awesome game, but there's nothing particularly better about it, nothing particularly worse or something. It is just new environments, new bosses, new collectibles, armor and stuff for you to pick up. So in that way I feel like, you know, if you are somebody who really enjoyed Bloodborne, then I can already say for sure you're going to like getting this DLC. I think it's about $20, 15 euros, 12 pounds, I wrote it down here, and for that money I'd already say it's definitely worth it, because I think personally the main game features around 15 to 20 bosses, I would say. Yeah, probably more like 15. This one has 4 of those, so you can kind of convert that and come to the conclusion that this one is about, you know, a third or a fourth of the length that the main game is. Basically, it doesn't take you too long to get through it, but then again the price simply isn't that much. You started by, first of all, the requirement is you've beaten Vicar Amelia, one of the first bosses in the main game. You gotta kind of like inspect that skull that it has in the altar at that boss stage, and as soon as you do that, I think, you know, messengers will start popping up in your hunter's dream and you can pretty much start the quest. You get a new tombstone with, as I said, completely new environments and stuff, and that's the part where you can really start playing the Old Hunters. Now, the main enemy types that you can find in the game itself are obviously hunters this time around. You know, you have a lot of those. There's not really that many beasts in itself, but there will be some familiar ones. For example, you have these giant sort of cave trolls or whatever they are with these big axes that you find in Bloodborne itself already in the very first level, I think, of the main game. They've kind of redone them. They look slightly different. They have new powers and stuff, and they're even more powerful in itself. I think the recommended level is about 65 for you if you want to start playing this. And once again, for me, somebody who hadn't played Bloodborne in quite a while now, pretty much ever since around May, I would say, I struggle a lot to get back into it, but you know, once you do, you kind of start understanding again what the mechanics are. And although it took me a little while, I really got going again very soon afterwards. I really like personally playing these games in co-op, for example. I know that a lot of people really find the appeal in Bloodborne that you really struggle, and it might take, you know, a lot of attempts to finally beat a certain boss. Yeah, I get that feeling completely myself as well, but I personally at the same time also really like doing it in co-op. So I played through Bloodborne itself with my girlfriend, and I did the exact same thing now here with the Old Hunters, and we had a blast. You know, it's like, as I said, we didn't completely beat it yet, but I think it will take you probably around 8 to 10 hours maybe to get through the entire thing and collect everything, beat all the bosses in general, and then you'll kind of have seen it. As I said, it's about 1/4 of the main game in itself, but it's more of the same. You know, it's harder once again, and it's new bosses for you to defeat and these new armor plates to collect, all that kind of stuff. So it's good DLC. As I said, if you enjoyed Bloodborne in itself, you're going to enjoy this expansion. It's going to be worth your money because it doesn't cost that much. I think I've honestly already kind of covered it all. That's really what you can expect from it. The color palette, the kind of areas that you'll be seeing in this expansion, I would describe the color palette as brown, yellow and red. You have these big red rivers with a lot of enemies that you will kind of like, you know, go through. At the same time, yeah, the environments in itself is you know, it's these kind of brown castles as usual, and the yellow lighting and stuff that you have in total. So that's kind of what you should expect. You can see it by the gameplay here, judging it by that, what the environments are kind of like. And yeah, I enjoyed playing through it. I've not beaten it yet, as I said, but I'm going to try doing that in the next couple of days. And I think I've kind of given my conclusion right. I don't think I really need to give this one a score or something. Bloodborne itself got a 9 out of 10 for me. The expansion, it's more of the same. It's also a 9 out of 10. It's great fun, sorry, and if you enjoyed it, you'll have a blast playing through this one again. So for now, I hope you enjoyed the review, and then I'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.